Hello and welcome to De-Stress with Dr. Amanda. I'm Dr. Amanda and this podcast is all about highlighting the often underestimated effects and impacts stress has on our bodies and lives. Today I am talking with Tasha, who is a massage therapist who does a whole host of different holistic therapies to really help you manage your stress. I was really excited to record this episode because just in the last few months I've really started to invest in massages and having them more than just a luxury, but actually an essential in my stress management and day-to-day goings about. And so it was a really interesting conversation that we had about where we often hold our tensions, what massage can do for you, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So hi Tasha and welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on. Tasha, I'm going to start off with letting you introduce yourself and then we'll go from there.
Okay, I'm Tasha. I do massage therapy. I've got a business based out of Liverpool, and I do various different types of massage and complement it with other remedial therapies as well. I work with an array of clients like athletes, um, old age pensioners, school kids, mini athletes, so like your young kids who are wanting to be Olympians and football players,
Oh, brilliant.
and also like everyone in between, like office workers, people dealing with chronic fatigue, arthritis, stress. So yeah, my client base is quite vast.
Oh, lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I already know that you're going to have a lot of expertise and things to share with us because of how much variety of work you see. But I thought I wanted to share a little bit of why I wanted to do this episode today. So, if you've been listening, I've dealt with stress and had a high level of stress in the last few years having my children. And one thing that I found was that I was in a lot of pain. So during my pregnancies, I had a lot of hip and pelvic pain, back pain, shoulder, neck problems. And being in all that pain, I started like looking for ways to solve it. And that's how I kind of came across. First of all, it was going to a chiropractor and they would do some massage as part of the therapy, but it was only like short 10, 15, 20-minute sessions. And then this year, just a few months ago, actually, I found a sports massage therapist and she has been massaging me every 2 weeks. And it's amazing. I just saw like from all the stress that I've been going through, how much tension that I was actually holding in my body. And these massages, I saw them before as like just relaxation, luxury kind of things. Have them on a holiday or, if it's someone's birthday or something like that. But now it's essential for me. And I found it as a massive, like a really valuable part of my own stress management. And so I was really excited to find you on Instagram online that you did so many different types of massage therapy. And I just wanted to get on here and have a talk with you and just try and share out there for people to use massage more therapeutically rather than just as a one-off luxury.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all, would you mind telling me, how you actually found yourself in this line of work? What led you into like these massages, these therapies?
So I actually used to work with kids doing outdoor sports, so that was my background.
Okay.
And then when I moved back home, well, on my process of moving back home, I was in a really, really, really bad car crash, and I came out like physically okay.
Mm-hmm.
But my partner, she had nerve damage all down her left side,
Oh,
and to the point where she couldn't walk. So for 2 years, she was in a wheelchair after the car crash. She was getting physio and things like that. The physios were they were great, but they were like, saying to her like things like, you probably never walk again. You'll
mm-hmm.
and those type of things and using that language. And trying to be as positive as possible. Like together, we were like, no, we'll have to just try every avenue we can. So I looked into massage because
Mm-hmm.
I'd read into it and stuff. Like, you know what, I'm going to train and I'll see if I can help you out. So I started training in sports massage,
Oh,
and
amazing.
and then we started doing massage for Hannah, my partner, and yeah. So I mean, now she's still got nerve damage. Like, we're not taking that away.
Hmm.
However, she's not in the wheelchair, so she can walk, but she uses like walking sticks or um like braces that hold her foot up, because the most of the damage is from her knee down.
Yeah.
Um, so we've learned together to like make it happen basically. So she's a bit more independent. She can do things that she wasn't able to do for those 2 years. And that is all down to massage therapy. And in I think it's increasing the sensitivity in the area, which massage does a lot. Um, and so yeah, that's how I ended up getting into it. So it was only supposed to be to help my partner. And then I was like, actually, I like doing this. This is nice.
Okay. That is
Um,
awesome though.
yeah,
That's amazing that she got so much function
yeah.
out of these massages. So do you believe so do you put it down? Was that the main change in terms of her recovery? Was massage
Um,
really the main catalyst for her?
I think if it wasn't the main one, it was a massive factor.
Hmm.
I think because she was doing a lot of things at the time, like hypnotherapy,
Uh-huh.
massage, a lot of meditation. It was all like holistic therapies.
Uh-huh.
Um, And I just think the combination of,
Hmm.
taking a positive approach and doing things holistically has helped it along the way.
Brilliant. That's awesome. And so this, and I think we see this in a lot of people's stories where you find your place, your purpose, your calling, or whatever it is, after some kind of stressful event that kind of makes you
Yeah.
reevaluate things or look at things in a different light. And
Yeah.
so how long ago was that? When did you start doing this then?
So that was 2014, the crash, and
Mhm.
then I started training probably about 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Um,
Brilliant.
yeah, because the nerve damage, it takes a while to like kick in, if you like.
Mhm.
It doesn't just happen overnight.
So brilliant. Tell me some more then about so what does your work entail? I remember you saying that there's quite a few different types of massages that you do. Um,
Yeah.
tell us a bit more like how that actually looks for you. What kind of things do you do?
Okay, so as I say, I started with sports massage. Um, Within sports massage, you can branch off and you can do different techniques and different types of treatments during that massage. It all
Mhm.
depends on what's going on with the client that comes in. So it could be quite light pressure,
Mhm.
hard pressure, friction, trigger point in, which is where you put a lot of pressure in one area.
Mhm.
Um, and then I also do deep tissue massage, which is self-explanatory. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people who go to spas and stuff, they tend to opt for a deep tissue massage because they feel like it's going to get deep and help them
Yeah.
out. And then I do relaxation massage, which is a bit lighter and mainly focuses on basically the feeling of touch on the body
Mhm.
and just slowing the heart rate down and getting you into a parasympathetic state.
Mhm.
Then there's passive stretching, which is if you think about yoga,
Yeah.
um, but lazy because you don't need to do it. Like, I'll do it for you. I'll just move your body around and stretch you out. Um,
Brilliant.
which which is great for people who don't like yoga, but they still want to get the benefits of stretching.
Mhm.
And then I do cupping therapy, dry cupping therapy, which
So I've seen a lot about this. I've never done it before, or like what are the benefits of that? What's that about?
it's really good for temporarily increasing the circulation in your body. So if you've got cold spots, like people who suffer from lower back pain tend to have a cold lower back,
Hmm.
which is a sign of low circulation. So cupping therapy on the back is where you put the cup on and it
Hmm.
brings the skin into the cup, so it lifts.
Yes.
Um, and it just helps increase the circulation in that area and giving it a bit of attention and love, if you like. And
Oh, brilliant.
also just lifting that, like, if you ever have that feeling where your back or or even your legs and your arms, you just feel really, really tight.
Yes.
Um, those cups going on, they hurt for a little bit, but once they come
Hmm.
off, you're like, oh my God.
Okay,
I'm
you feel
good.
like loose and good. Sounds like I need
Yeah.
it.
And dry needling as well. I do dry needling, which is same needles as acupuncture,
Mm,
um, but it's not for neurological anything like that. It's all musculoskeletal.
okay. So I had my first session of dry needling like about a month or so ago, and it
Okay.
was the oddest sensation. I was really nervous because I've never had acupuncture or anything. And it was my sport therapist who recommended this dry needling, and I remember she put one into like somewhere just behind my arm here, like just behind my shoulder there,
Yeah.
and I felt like I couldn't move. I felt like if I moved, my shoulder was gonna come out of joint. I don't even, and I'm sure this needle was like only like a millimeter in or something, but it just I had this really strange sensation. And I
Yeah.
remember once my elbow started tingling, I was like, the way this body is connected together, these needles, and I just was like, this is just so odd.
Yeah.
But it really helped with. I was told that I have a lot of I just call them knots, but she said
hmm
they're called muscle adhesions.
hmm
And I've got some terrible, terrible ones all over my neck and my shoulder and everything. Um, and yeah, so she was like that they really help to break down some of those muscle adhesions, and that's what we tried it for. I think it
Yeah.
helped.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really good for that. When people ask me like, what does it do? The way I describe it is if you think about your body, it's like an orange.
Hmm.
You peel the orange, that's your skin, and then inside you've got the white stuff before you get to the bit that you eat. That white stuff's like your connective tissue.
Hmm.
So the needles work a lot with that, to try and like manipulate it and make it a bit less sticky, if you like.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's the only way that'll be not the only way, but the best way I
Mm.
describe it to my clients, and they're like, okay, get an
Yeah,
idea of
yeah.
that.
Oh, that's really cool. And so, are those the main treatments then that you offer?
Yeah, they're the main ones.
Okay. So, what one thing that you said that was really interesting was about the relaxation massage that you do to try and get them into this more of the parasympathetic state. And
hmm
so, that's the thing. This is why really want to emphasize that these therapies aren't just, they're not just, luxuries or options. Like, obviously, there are options there, but why I want them to you see them more as like an essential thing is that in this podcast, we're really highlighting the often underestimated effects of stress on yourself, so like on our bodies, our lives, everything. And although our bodies are really set up quite well to deal with short-term stress, like go into a fight or flight mode, your sympathetic nervous system turns on, you're all heightened, you're ready to go. That's good when there is like some danger or a stress situation, you've got to react to something, fine. So like when you're about to be in a car crash and you need to, take action and make a decision, that sympathetic nervous system switching on, all your senses becoming heightened, the hormones all shooting up are really important then. But when you're in this chronic stressful state, which can happen with so many different situations in life, whether it's career problems or mental health issues or lack of sleep or just issues with family or whatever it is, it means that our body's always in this sympathetic state. And it means that our nervous system is too high. All of our we need to go into that parasympathetic state to really try to reduce things, reduce down the stress levels, reduce down your stress hormones so that your body can heal and function better. And a way to get your body into that, it sounds like, this massaging can really help to kind of put a line in the sand. And, if you're on
Yeah.
a cycle of stress and you're like, how do I get out of this? How do I reduce things down? Massage, there's some therapies there that are literally made to put you into switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is really awesome.
Even I don't know if you have them where you are, but have you seen chair massage? Sometimes you see them in shopping centres or
No? Oh, oh,
um
yes, yes, I think
yeah,
so.
so chair massage. So 15-minute chair massage is enough to get you into that parasympathetic state.
That's
You don't
awesome.
even need a lot of time.
Hmm. That's awesome. And that's the thing, because people say they don't have the money for it, the time for it, but they're not very expensive. They're not very, it's not too long, 15 minutes, and it can do such wonders because
Yeah.
getting yourself out of that stressful state, it allows your body to heal and rest, which is so essential. Okay, so what I was wondering is with your vast array of clients and different like therapies that you offer, how do you often see what are the common ways that you see stress manifesting in like your clients and their bodies?
A lot of I'd say a lot of mental stress then translates into physical stress. So if you're feeling stressed or anxious over anything, you probably tense your body without
Mhm.
even realizing it. And then a lot of that comes from the shoulders, really. So that's the first place that most people hold it. So they'll be like doing this, holding the shoulders up towards the ears without realizing it. Um, so that then because you're constantly holding this here, then this there's nowhere for it to go. It just sits there, and then you become restricted, and then you start getting poor posture, you get back pain, and it's just gone from a mental state to a physical state overnight. And
Mm-hmm.
it without treating it, it's just going to stay there. So
Yes.
that's where I tend to find that most people hold it. There is other places, but that tends to be the most common.
Yeah. And that's true. Like that's exactly where mine are. Um,
Yeah,
that whole upper shoulder, upper back, neck area. And I realize it's really you do that so often where you just your body, it's like I don't know if it's like trying to protect itself, what it is, why you just start tensing up like that. But you can literally see it in some people when they're becoming quite stressed. I remember I was scrolling through Instagram a few weeks ago and I saw this little post. It was like, just stop and drop your shoulders. Take a minute, drop your shoulders, take your tongue off the roof of your mouth, relax your eyebrows, unclench your jaw. And like as you're reading it, you start doing these things. Like, I didn't realize I was clenching. I didn't realize
yeah,
that I was holding my shoulders up. I didn't realize I was doing all these things. And sometimes we're just going about our days and we don't realize like how much our bodies are changing and contorting to all the little things that are coming through.
yeah.
Um, and then those muscle tension, those restrictions can build up. Yeah. What I was wondering, with all the different types of therapies that you do, how would you suggest someone know what kind of therapy would be best for them? Um, so when people come to you and they're wanting massage therapy, do they often know like exactly what kind of massage that they want? Do you recommend different things for people? Is it like a consultation? How do you go about choosing the right thing for the right person?
Um, People will just message me, or they can go on my website, and I've got a little bit of information about the different types of things that they can book. With a
Mm,
little bit, like it'll say, this would be good for you if you've got this, and this. But I'm quite open, and I've got time for people to give me a message and say, look, I don't know what I need.
mm,
This is what's going on. Can you tell me what I need to book in for? Um, in general, if you are, let's just say, an office worker, you work at a computer 8 hours a day, it's probably a deep tissue massage that you want to start with, to just get that body used to lying down, getting a nice
mm,
massage and relaxed, and understanding where you're holding pain in your body. A deep tissue massage will cover your full body, and sometimes I have clients who'll say, I didn't know I had that pain in my ankle. I didn't
mhm,
know my arms were that tight. And it's like you didn't know because you're not getting any human connection, if you like, you're not allowing that physical touch to, or doing it yourself, you're not stretching. You don't,
mhm.
or doing the exercises to understand your body and be aware of what's happening. Um so yeah, I'd say most people book in a deep tissue massage, but if you're not sure, then if give your therapist a message, or
Mhm.
someone that is close to you, and you can find out what's best.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's the thing because a lot of the time you're like, okay, let me try it, but you don't know where your issues are until you start down that road. Like when I first started having massages, I really thought it was all my lower back was the main issues. And then as I was having the massages, they were like, no, 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 your shoulders and your
Yeah.
neck is a mess. I was like, okay, and it made sense. Because I was getting like pins and needles in my hands and things. And it
Yeah.
made sense because of all the tension there. But honestly, I thought that the reason I was going was for my lower back and for my hips.
Yeah.
And then you discover all these other areas. There's something that I forgot to ask you before. Before you actually got into massage therapy, what were you doing before that?
I was doing outdoor sports with the kids.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I've worked in sport for a while.
Do you still have any part of that now, or is it all into the massage therapy?
All massage therapy, yeah. I
Okay.
still train myself, but yeah, just all massage therapy. And maybe looking at doing some personal training as
Okay.
well. Still go hand in hand.
Brilliant. Well, I've really enjoyed our chat today. I've learned a lot about just the different options that are out there and why it's so important. I just hope that, you listeners found why it's so important to look at massaging as more as a therapy rather than just a luxury to have. Tasha, can you tell everyone you mentioned a website and everything like that. Where are you based? Where can people find you if they want to book on for a massage or, just want to talk to you more?
I'm based in Liverpool, and my website is Rokstherapy. It's ROKS, no C, just for the confusion. So rokstherapy.com, and I'm at Rokstherapy on Instagram and Facebook. So you can give me a message. Um, Even if you're not close to me and you're looking for some help, then you can just give me a message, or you can go on to the FHT website, which is the Federation of Holistic Therapists, sorry. You can go on their website and you can find a local therapist to you who's qualified and insured and is knowledgeable enough to give you all the information and treatment that you need.
Brilliant, thank you. And I may need to take a trip to Liverpool, guys, and get some cupping done on my lower back. I think I need it. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you again so much, Tasha, for joining us today. And don't forget, guys, if you have enjoyed, make sure that you're subscribed. On YouTube, you can find us at Live with Dr. Amanda, and on podcast platforms, Apple and Spotify, it is De-Stress with Dr. Amanda. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.